Hi everyone, or should I say ciao. Most of our videos with Learn English Florida focus on Florida, but sometimes it's fun to talk about other places around the US and the world. We did a video a few weeks ago about our trip to Sicily in Italy, so we thought it would be fun today to talk about my trip to Italy last year when I visited Florence, Milan, and Lake Como. I'm Vanessa, your teacher. Let's get started. I visited Florence, Milan, and Lake Como in March 2025, so the weather was still mostly cold. I was there for a work conference. I landed in Florence and went to my hotel where I had a nice view of a park in Florence. I worked during the day, but I actually had a nice amount of free time. So I went to the main area of tourist Florence, including the Duomo, the cathedral, Santa Maria Novella, souvenir shopping, and the Accademia gallery with Michelangelo's David. It was busy everywhere I went, and it was only March. But I still had a nice time and tried some great pizza, wine, and yes, pasta. Even some pasta near the Duomo, the cathedral. After my conference, I took a train for about 2 hours to go to Milan. I was in Milan for the weekend. It was very busy there. You probably know that Milan is a fashion capital, but there were a lot of people there because it was the end of the carnival season, and it was also the International Day of Women. So I felt like I was in New York City. I was spending time near Milan's Duomo, which is also very famous. You've probably seen it. I was able to meet some conversation partners for lunch to practice Italian, but my Italian was still very basic, but also just, meet each other and practice English as well. So we had lunch, walked around a little bit. We even went to a bakery that made special chocolate, and we walked around the Galleria, which is a famous, expensive shopping area. In the evening, it was also busy in Milan. The next morning, I got up early and I took a train to Lake Como, also called Lago di Como. It's famous because actor George Clooney has a home there. I didn't see George Clooney. I went to 3 different towns in Lake Como. The first town called Bolano, which has a beautiful large waterfall. I would recommend seeing it. Then I took a ferry across the lake to Bellagio. Bellagio is a famous small town on Lake Como. There were a lot of people there. You can see how Italy gets a lot of tourists and may even have over-tourism, meaning too many people there. Even in March when I went, and it gets worse over the summer. But Bellagio was beautiful, and it was nice to sit and have some wine and cheese and watch the people and watch the lake. The third town I visited is called Verona. And there I also did some walking around and had some gelato. Just like I had gelato in Florence too, because after all, when you travel to Italy, gelato has no calories. I think my day in Lake Como was probably my favorite part of my trip. But honestly, the whole trip was pretty tiring because it involved going to 3 different places, listening to Italian. For work, it was in English, so that was fine. But outside of my work, I was listening to Italian and just getting to know another culture. but it was also a really nice time. So after maybe 8 days in Italy, I flew back home to Florida. Please watch our second video this week where we'll share some pictures from my trip to Florence, Milan, and Lake Como. Thanks everyone. Ciao.